Hey everyone, if you're new here, my name's Lottie, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back to my channel. As you can probably tell by the title, today's video is a super fun one. I'm so excited for it, and I hope you guys are too. In today's video, one of my booktube besties, Katie, and I are doing a little bookish bestie book swap, but with a twist. Katie and I both picked out 2 books for each other. The criteria for the books is that one of them needed to be a 5-star read, so I picked out a book that was a 5-star read for me that Katie hasn't read yet and sent that to her. And then the prompt for book 2 was a book that's on our TBR that we want the other person to vet. So I picked out a book that I really want to read that I think Katie will like, and I want to know what she actually thinks of it. So I'm going to be getting a 5-star read from Katie and a book that's on her TBR, and she's going to be getting the same from me. Even though I'm not going to be sharing the books I picked for Katie in this video, I wanted to share the process of kind of wrapping up her blind dates with books and sending off her bookish care package. So let's roll those clips. Okay, so it's time to wrap Katie's blind date with books package that I'm going to send her. I'm so excited. If you want to know what books I got Katie, you're going to have to go watch her video, but I basically just wrapped up the books in some old Trader Joe's bags. I have some little sticky notes on all of them so that I know which one is which, but I want to decorate the different blind dates with the books I got for her. So this one is my 5-star read that I'm excited to give to Katie. This one is a book that's on my TBR that I want her to vet. And then I actually broke the rules just a little bit and got her a surprise 3rd book. So I'll give you a little more info on that when we decorate it. But basically I have my Crayola super tips here, and I thought we could just kind of write on the different books, like some hints as to what the book is and which prompt it falls under. So you'll see as we get started, but let's start decorating them. What I added to the book: lit fic, magical realism, ... kinda, and cozy mystery. I actually also have this fun like star ribbon, so I'm gonna tie this around my 5-star read as well. Okay, so this is book 2. This is one that's on my TBR that I want Katie to read, so I'm gonna decorate this one now. Okay, so for this one, I added the start of a series, young adult, urban fantasy, and dark academia. And then I just wrote on my TBR on the bottom. So now let's do the bonus book. This one is so heavy. If you've seen Katie's video, you know what this is, but I don't want to give away why exactly I picked this bonus book too much. So I'm gonna keep it a little bit vague, but you guys will see. Okay, I just finished this one, so I wrote a bonus book because I couldn't help myself. Another one on my TBR for fans of Heartstopper smiley face. I feel like this kind of gives away a little bit of the idea here. I didn't want to explicitly say it. And then I just wrote queer romance, sci-fi, and hee hee, so sneaky, because I feel a little bit devious throwing in a 3rd book. Okay, now that we have the books somewhat decorated, we need to get them packed. So I have this white box that I got. It's just like a little gift box. So I'm gonna try to fit them all in there. I added this green ribbon onto the like proper book on my TBR, not the bonus book, just so that both of the books that were like the original plan had ribbon, and then the bonus book, I think maybe I just won't add any ribbon because it'll be kind of hidden on the bottom is my idea. I actually also got her some other surprises. So I picked out a jelly cat for her. I ordered this like a month ago, but I know Katie loves her chai tea lattes, so I got her this little amusable coffee cup. It's like the hot coffee one, so I feel like it kind of works for chai too. And I just think this one is so classic and cute and so perfect for book lovers. I don't have this one, but I'm obsessed with it, so I'm excited to send him to her. So I have that in its little pouch. Okay, and then Katie also recently adopted a new precious cat. Her name is Smalley, and so I picked up just some little cat. I don't have a cat, and I've never had a cat, so I don't know if like, I would assume a cat would like cat treats from Trader Joe's, but I just thought it'd be fun to get some little cat treats for Melly. I don't know if Melly will like them, no pressure, but I just thought it'd be fun to throw them in to celebrate Katie and her new family member. So I got these for the package as well. Can you guys tell one of my love languages is gift giving? I have so much fun with it. I always take it too far, but anyways, I also got Katie these bookmarks from Fleurs on Sunday. I love Fleurs on Sunday. You can get her bookmarks on her website or on Etsy, but I just got this one that says this and yap, and it just has these little designs all over it and a little ribbon. Just thought it was so cute. And then I also got her the Aquarius bookmark from Fleurs on Sunday. So it just has little Aquarius stuff and like says some of the traits of Aquarius and the little sign. So I thought this was super cute too. I'm very into astrology if you didn't know. So I thought I would get Katie her little Aquarius bookmark and a little this and yap one. It just felt like girly vibes. And then I also have this bookmark that I just thought was super cute that I'm going to throw in, and it says reading list, and you can just like write out different books. It kind of looks like a little library card thing almost. So I just thought it'd be fun to kind of decorate the package. And then last but not least, the last thing I'm including in her goodie bag is just this little cellophane package full of a bunch of different stickers. So I got her this one that just says Hot Girls Read. I thought this one was so cute. It's like a physical book by day, e-reader by night sticker. I got her this flower sticker that just says it's a good day to read a book. This one's pretty simple, just like a book with some flowers, but I thought it was so pretty. I love this one too. It just says book lover in the shape of a heart. I also got her this Heartstopper sticker because I know our girl Katie loves Heartstopper, so it's just the sneakers, I'm pretty sure, of Nick and Charlie. And then there's also just a bunch of these like little book ones, and then there's like some little stars and stuff in there too, and like a moon. I find these little book ones are so great for like filling weird gaps on your Kindle if you're decorating your Kindle. So I got her some of these. I'm so excited for her to see all her stickers and bookmarks and goodies. So let's pack up her package and get it sent off. Everything fit in perfectly. It's like the perfect size. Anything else would not fit. So I just put some blue tissue paper in the bottom and then basically just stacked up all the books on the right, put the jelly cat on the left, and then the treats, the bookmarks, the stickers. I also added some little post-it notes. So I added a little post-it note for Melly on the treats. And then I just put this little post-it note for Katie, just saying how excited I am about the swap and just how happy I am to be book besties. So my plan is just to reuse this Amazon box, and it has some like filler paper. I'm gonna rip off the old label, tape it up. I'm gonna go ship this off to Katie, and I can't wait to see which books she picks out for me. Okay, now that my package is on its way to Katie, it's time to see what Katie picked out for me. You guys are actually gonna get a sneak peek and know what she picked out before I figure it out. So I'm gonna toss it over to Katie, who's going to take you book shopping with her.
Hello everybody, my name is Katie. Nice to meet ya. I am so honored to be on Lottie's channel today. I am currently in the parking lot of one of my favorite places, which is of course Barnes & Noble. And today I'm going to be choosing 2 different books for Lottie to read in this video based off of prompts that we've decided on. I have a few different options for both of the prompts that I've been thinking about, but I'm not exactly sure which one I want to pick yet. All I know is that I want to do 2 different genres because I want to give her a little bit of variety. So let's go ahead, pop inside, and get shopping. Welcome to my Barnes & Noble, everybody. The first prompt that I'm going to find a book for is one of my 5-star reads, and one of the top ones on my list I read earlier this year. It was so good, and that is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. I am literally obsessed with this book. Also, this cover is a little bit different, like just the coloring of it. I thought this was like an exclusive edition, but it's like more of like a sunset vibe, and I think that's really pretty. And I know Lottie read Firefly Lane, and they don't have The Nightingale down here. It's probably on a table or something, but I know that she absolutely loved both of those. So I feel like going with The Great Alone would be like a really safe pick, and I feel like she would enjoy it because she likes Kristen Hanna's writing. So this is definitely a top contender for the 5-star reads prompt. It's like they knew I was coming shopping for Lottie today. Currently looking for the memoirs, have zero idea where they are in my Barnes. This is a pretty popular one though, so it might be like on a table or something up front. Let's go see. I also found this, The House of My Mother by Sherry Frankie. This would be good for the second prompt because I really want to read this. It's a memoir all about Sherry Frankie's life and everything that happened with like her YouTube family vlogger days, and I feel like that just sounds so incredibly interesting to me. Also realized I forgot to pick up The Great Alone and I left it somewhere, so we need to go get that because I was replacing my camera battery. My bad. Okay, we have The Great Alone again. We're good. My second option was Dinner for Vampires by Bethany Joy Lenz, but I couldn't find it anywhere, and I also asked some of the booksellers and they tried to help me find it and we couldn't find it anywhere. They only had one copy, so maybe somebody's holding it or something, but it's not that big of a deal because I have one other one that we can choose from, and that is On a Quiet Street by Serafina Nova Glass. I'm not a big thriller girly, but this one was so good. It's short, it gets to the point, it has like 3 different POVs, and it's super fast paced. So those are the ones we're going to choose from for my 5-star read prompt. The next prompt is picking a book off of our personal TBRs and having the other person read it so they can give us their thoughts and feelings on the book to see if it's like worth reading or not. And whenever Lottie and I were talking, I know she definitely wants to get into more fantasy, and there are 2 fantasy books that I really want to read, but I know she also hasn't read yet. One of them is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I believe this is just a trilogy. I have heard amazing things about this. It's also on Kindle Unlimited. And the other one that I really want to read that I've heard amazing things about as well is Heavenly Bodies. This is by Imani Irayu. Sorry if I said that wrong. These both just look so good, so these are definitely going in our basket as some options. I also picked up Legendborn by Tracy Dion. Also heard amazing things about this series as well. This one is almost like a dark academia fantasy mixture, which is interesting. And I believe it is a King Arthur retelling. I don't really know. I'm just putting a lot of options into my basket, as you can see. To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandria Christo has been on my mental TBR for so long. I remember Rachel Catherine talking about this a while ago and thought it sounded really good, and it's a standalone, so this might be a good pick. Update. I have found Dinner for Vampires by Bethany Joy Lenz. I know this is on her want to read, and this is one of my 5-star reads. It is just so good and so intriguing, and I feel like she would really enjoy it. I've been in my memoir era lately. I've just been loving them, and I feel like this is definitely one of the best ones I've ever read. And now because my basket is just getting so incredibly heavy, the more books I add, we're gonna have to sit down on the ground and make some decisions. What to choose, what to choose. I just left Barnes, so let me show you guys what I ended up choosing. For the 5-star read prompt, I chose On a Quiet Street by Serafina Nova Glass. This is more of a psychological thriller, and this is my only 5-star thriller mystery. It is just so good, so fast-paced. I'm so excited to see what she thinks of this, especially because she's read more mystery thrillers than I have. Also kind of nervous because anybody reading one of your 5-star reads is a little daunting. And then for the second prompt, a book off of my TBR, I chose Heavenly Bodies by Imani Iriu. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong again. I've just heard nothing but amazing things about this book and from so many different people with different tastes as well. And I know Lottie has been wanting to get into more fantasy, so I thought this would be perfect. And I am so excited to see what she thinks. Those are the 2 books that I chose for Lottie to read in this video. Hopefully she likes both of them. I'm really interested to see her thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed book shopping with me, and that is really going to be it from me. So bye guys.
Okay guys, what do you think? Am I gonna like the books? Only time will tell, but I will see you guys in a couple days once Katie's care package gets to me. Okay besties, it's been a few days and Katie's bookish care package has arrived. I'm so excited to see what books she picked out for me. But first we're gonna give Katie a quick FaceTime so that we can react to each other's unboxings. Okay, I've got Katie on FaceTime. She's back here, so I'm looking back a little bit. I'm like looking at our FaceTime, but I'm gonna put Katie here so you can see both of our reactions. Katie wants me to start with this one, so we're gonna open her up first. I have an idea of what this is because there's a little something on the label that has me very excited.
I didn't even think about that.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited.
Oh my god. Guys, look what it is. I'm so excited. I love the little pouches. I get these sometimes at local stores and they never, you know, you don't get the pouch when you don't order it online. Yeah. So it's fun to have a little pouch. There's a little this from Jellycat. Oh, so cute. I love it. So cute. I love it. Thank you, Katie.
Of course.
Okay, let's see which Jellycat it is. I can't wait. I kind of want to let everyone else see before me. I want to make sure. Shut up.
I know you would love it.
It's so cute. Oh, I'm gonna have to put it with I have this is the UK edition of Remarkably Bright Creatures.
It's so
this
cute.
is one of my favorite books. And it says That Octopus book at the top. So my new octopus Jellycat is gonna go so perfectly. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
It's literally Marcellus. Of course.
It's perfect.
I'm so glad you love it.
Oh my gosh. Does he have a name?
I don't know.
My name is Little Odell Octopus.
Odell.
Obsessed. Obsessed.
He's like the perfect size for bookshelves too.
He is. I'm shocked. I kind of want to put him here so he can sit with us. Hold on, we're doing a quick rearranging so he can join us. Amazing. He's going to join us for the rest of the unboxing. Thank you, Katie. I'm so excited.
Of course. Okay. I'm glad you love it.
Okay, now I think it's time to open the box with the books. Is it not?
Yes.
I fear we can't delay anymore. I've been yapping, delaying. I think it's time. Katie, your wrapping job is so cute.
Oh, I didn't wrap that. That's a box from Hobby Lobby. Yes.
I know, but my box is boring compared to this. This is adorable.
No, it's okay. I just thought you would love that because it's so colorful and fun.
No, I do. You know I love color, so I'm
slay.
Okay, yay! Is it time? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the pink. I love. Oh my gosh, Katie, yours look so cute. Mine actually look like I'm kind of embarrassed.
Oh,
now I'm looking at yours.
I doubt that. I made that.
Oh my god, it's so cute. Guys, look at the friendship bracelet.
Or no, it's a little book charm.
I'm obsessed. It's so cute. Thank you.
Of course. The bow one is actually a bookmark too.
Oh, I see.
You can slip it out.
Okay, hold on. I'm just reading. I'm sitting here reading and not telling everyone. I'm reading the things on the blind dates without telling you guys what I'm reading. Okay. Okay, so look how cute. Oh my gosh, I love this idea. I haven't really seen this, but it's such a good idea to do it with the paper clip and then you can have it as a charm. I love that. Where did you get that idea?
I saw the charm one on TikTok, and so I made that from my friendship bracelet making stuff. And then I was like, why don't I just tie a bow on the other one? So I did that, and it turned out good.
So cute.
I'm excited.
I did. I'm obsessed.
I need to make myself some.
Yeah, you do. So we have our 2 books here from Katie. We have the first one. This is her 5-star read. So it says, small town, multiple POVs, lots of drama, bingeable, which that sounds right up my alley. So I'm very intrigued to see what this could be. I kind of feel like if I had to guess, it's probably a romance if it's small town. But considering it's multiple POVs and lots of drama, and bingeable could be like a little more of like a thriller. I don't know. So we'll see. And then the one on Katie's TBR says astrology, prophecy, fantasy, magic. I'm very curious. I have one idea of what I feel like this could be based on one of the clues, but I'm not sure 100% yet. So we'll see. Which one do you want me to open first, Katie?
Do the 5-star one.
Okay.
That's what I'm most nervous about.
So we're gonna start with the 5-star read. I don't even want to like open it because you did such a good job wrapping. My wrapping is so sad compared to this, but
I doubt it. I doubt it.
You know what? We did the best we could. Okay, also we decided to just open them both in this clip, and then we're gonna mood read, or like go with which one we want to go with first, and not like wait and do one blind book at a time, just for everyone's context. Okay, this is what I was kind of thinking. At first, when I saw Small Town, I was like, okay, romance? Mm-hmm. But then I saw bingeable, and I was like, which, of course, romance can always be bingeable, but lots of drama. I was like, okay, it's starting to feel like maybe it's a thriller. And I know this is one of the thrillers that you loved this year, is like kind of getting you back into mystery. Wasn't like too scary. So I'm really excited because I read a thriller earlier this year in January that like actually scared me to my bones. And then I read one maybe in April too that I was like, I don't like this. And it was kind of starting to put me off a little bit. But I think based on your descriptions of like how you've come and feel like that and that you love this one makes me really excited because I still love thrillers. I just always need good recs for ones that like aren't gonna like chill me to my bone. And I'm really excited because I feel like this one's gonna have really good suspense and like mystery, but hopefully not like actually freak me out and like keep me up at night. So I'm really excited. Thank you, Katie.
Of course. No, I feel like you're going to love it. It was psychological, but again, it wasn't like I'm not sleeping tonight psychological. Because like I can't do that. I am a scaredy cat through and through. So I think you're going to like it.
Thanks, Katie.
I'm so glad you like it. Or hopefully you like it, I guess.
Now we're going to open the TBR book. I have a guess for this one as well, based on one word on here. I'll unveil if my guess was right once we open it. So I'm excited. We shall see. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. Yay! I was wrong. Okay, I was guessing because it says astrology. I was like, is she giving me Zodiac Academy right
now? No.
Which, I mean, I'm down. Like, Zodiac Academy is on my TBR. No shade to Zodiac Academy. But I was like, that's like a really long series. And I feel like it has a lot of mixed reviews. Or I'm like, it could be really fun to read, though. But that's what my head went to. So I was not expecting this, and I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, and they like go together. They're like,
yes, they do.
Aesthetically so pleasing. I've heard so many good things.
And
I feel like I need the push to read more. Is this like fantasy romance? The first book in a dazzling new romantasy series that blends Greek mythology and shadow magic with a tantalizing enemies to lovers romance that will rewrite the stars.
Period. I'm so excited to hear your thoughts. I've been wanting to read that for so long, and I've heard like nothing but amazing things. So I'm really hoping that you're gonna like it.
Like all the romantasy girlies are like obsessed with this one, I feel like, and so I trust them. Oh, I can't wait, and it's so pretty.
It is so pretty.
Thank you, Katie. I'm so excited.
Of course.
Both of these books are ones that like I definitely am so pumped to read and so excited for. But it's like really fun the concept of this video because I feel like it's nice to have the push and like. Here you go. This is what you're doing. So it's nice to just be told what to do sometimes.
True.
Honestly. I'm like, sometimes I need leadership. And I'm like, okay, I have my assignment. I'm going to go do my homework and I'll report back. So I can't wait. I'm so excited. Well, we have our 2 books. Thank you so much, Katie. I'm so excited to read them. As I've said like 14 times in the past 10 minutes.
Of course.
I can't wait to read them. So I don't know which one I'll read first. I'll report back in my vlog. Now I'm going to watch Katie open her book. So you got to go watch her video in order to see what I got her and our reactions to all that. Okay, besties, it's officially time to start reading the books that Katie sent over. I'm so excited. Honestly, they are so aesthetically coordinated. They look so good together. I'm like, they look like the perfect pair. I think I may just start with On a Quiet Street since this is Katie's 5-star read. It also just seems like a super fast-paced read. Like I might be able to just sit here and read all of this afternoon and evening. I've never read anything from this author, so I'm really excited to give it a try and see what I think of her writing. Super quick before I dive into reading this one, I wanted to give you a quick plot synopsis so we're all on the same page. I think the basic premise of this book is that it follows this upscale neighborhood called Brighton Hills. I think it's supposed to be this like dreamy, luxurious, picturesque place on the Oregon coast. It says it's the kind of place where neighbors look out for one another, sometimes a little too closely. I think throughout the book, we're following 3 different POVs, 3 different people who live in the neighborhood. So one of them is Cora, who's convinced that her husband Finn is cheating on her. And Cora is desperate to get some proof. And that's that's where she ropes Paige into her plan to help her. Paige is grieving the loss of her son, who died in a hit and run accident like a year ago, I think, when this story takes place. And it honestly just kind of seems like she's spiraling. Paige is desperately searching for some proof that her son's death was not an accident. So of course she's down to spy on her neighbors. So Paige and Cora kind of team up to see what Finn is really up to. Meanwhile, there's also this mysterious new neighbor named Georgia, and I think she's just acting more strangely every day. The kind of odd that makes you think something's definitely off. So that's kind of the setup. You got these 3 different POVs. It seems like one of those books where, you know, on the surface, everything looks perfect, but when you dig underneath, the neighborhood definitely has some secrets. I actually did notice that it was on Kindle Unlimited, so I went ahead and downloaded it on my Kindle too. I'd say I'll probably do a bit of tandem reading. I think I'll probably start with the physical copy, but then later tonight, if I'm like reading in bed or something, you know I'm switching to the Kindle. So let's get started with On a Quiet Street, and I'll check back in a little bit with my first impressions. Okay, I thought it was time for an On a Quiet Street update. I just made it to page 105, so I'm about a third of the way through the book and wanted to give you first impressions. This book starts off with a very dramatic prologue. It's pretty gory and detailed, and it's definitely something we're going to be coming back to, I feel like. The prologue kind of highlights a little bit of what happened the night that Paige's son dies, but it definitely left me with some questions. Like, I feel like it's not as black and white as a hit and run, and Paige seems to think so too. So then you go into Paige's chapter right after that, and it's a year later, so Paige is just still kind of consumed by her grief, and she's kind of going a little crazy. So you're following her. First few chapters are a little bit more mundane, like you're kind of getting to know the different characters. It's very like Housewives coded, but you can definitely tell there's tension building. There's a lot of gossip, drama, kind of has that small town feel in a sense, where everyone's in everyone's business. Especially 2 of our main characters, Cora and Paige, they're up in everyone's business. I really love the alternating POV chapters. So we started with Cora, then we went to Paige, then we went to Georgia, who is a newer neighbor, and she's just been acting kind of odd, but you get a new perspective every chapter, which is really nice. And honestly, it's reminding me a little bit of Darling Girls in that way, which was a thriller I actually gave 5 stars last summer. It followed 3 foster sisters and changed POV every chapter. So I feel like this has like a very reminiscent vibe of that to me. I feel like all 3 of the main characters have very distinct voices, and I can always tell which chapter I'm in. It's very clear to me when I'm reading, so I really like that too. One thing I did notice though is that Cora and Georgia's chapters are both in first person, so they're using I, but Paige's chapters are in third person, so it's like Paige did this, Paige did that. And I'm wondering if that's like an Easter egg for something. Like, is Paige gonna die in the end so she like can't tell her story, or like, I don't know. I'm not gonna confirm or deny my theories, but it's just something I've noticed, and I'm curious if that's gonna make more sense by the end. I feel like the setup was a little bit slow for me, but the end of the last chapter that I just read, I was like, my jaw was on the floor. So I feel like the pace is picking up now that we like kind of have all the different puzzle pieces. We can kind of like play the game, you know? I feel like it's only going to pick up from here. So far, it's definitely reading a little bit more just like family neighborhood drama. There has been like some verbal and domestic abuse, so we'll note a trigger warning for that. I'm still hopeful that maybe I can finish this one all in one night, so I'm gonna get back to reading and stop yapping, but I'll keep you posted on my thoughts as I keep going. Okay, I'm checking it again. I've literally just been sitting here all night reading this. I'm on page 213. I was gonna stop at page 200 and give you a check-in, but then there was a cliffhanger and I had to read the next chapter. So here we are. Honestly, I don't have too much to add to my thoughts at this point. I'm just getting more and more hooked the more I read. I will say I feel like it's picking up. Like, I felt like the first 100 pages was a little slow. Second 100 pages definitely picked up, and now I feel like it's picking up even more. So I'm really excited to keep reading now. I'm probably gonna switch to the Kindle and just read until I fall asleep. I might finish it, I might not. We will see. I do have work tomorrow, so I'm gonna try not to stay up too late. As you saw, I finished On a Quiet Street by Serafina Nova Glass. I didn't read too much before bed last night. I honestly crashed as soon as I got into bed, but I woke up early, went for a walk, and finished this book before I had to start work today, which honestly was so much fun. I feel like it can be fun to finish a thriller in the morning because sometimes finishing a thriller at like 2 a.m. keeps me up for the rest of the night and then I don't get a good night's sleep. So I feel like it was honestly a good call. I kind of stopped at a good stopping point last night and then got through the rest of the twists and the turns this morning. Honestly, my thoughts now that I finished the book is that this is just a really solid domestic drama / psychological thriller. It was honestly like the perfect amount of scary. If you like thrillers that aren't super scary but are more just like suspenseful, I feel like this is a good one for that. The beginning honestly just read a little bit more like lit fic, neighborhood drama kind of stuff. So it wasn't boring by any means, but it didn't like hook me right away, I guess. Once things started to pick up, I absolutely flew through this, could not put it down. I felt like the 3 different POVs really helped with the pacing. This was a great length book. And I feel like in the beginning, I definitely found at least 2 of our 3 main characters pretty like annoying. Just like I wasn't connecting to them too much. But by the end, I definitely felt much more connected to them. And I feel like I really enjoyed kind of their arcs. I came to understand all of our characters a lot better, which I really appreciated. They really felt like they had depth and that they weren't just like surface level characters. The writing was just super crisp, honestly. I feel like that's the best way to describe mystery thriller writing that I like, is just crisp, you know? It's not super flowery or lyrical, obviously, because you've got to build that suspense. I feel like the main takeaway I have from this book, and you're probably like, why do you even have a takeaway? It's a mystery thriller. But I feel like one of the big themes in this book is everyone wants a village, but no one wants to like be a villager. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I'll link the TikTok that went viral down below if I can find it. But I think this story really kind of explores what it takes to be a great villager. And I absolutely love that. It was very much like I support women's rights and wrongs. And you know, I love that. I had a ton of fun with this. I definitely would read more from Serafina Nova Glass. I think I'm gonna give this book 4 stars. Honestly, I feel like it's pretty rare for me to give a mystery thriller 5 stars. But overall, this was just like a super solid suspense novel, a great kind of domestic drama. So book 1 is down. It was so fun to read one of Katie's 5 stars because I just knew it was gonna be a good book. I was like so excited to get into it and I had a blast. So it's been a couple hours and it's time to start the next book for this reading vlog, which is Heavenly Bodies by Amani Ariu. Katie did such a good job picking out this one from her TBR. It's like also on my TBR because this is just a book that I feel like I would not have prioritized it myself, but I'm so excited to read it. Plus, I did a little bit of research on the author, Amani Ariu, and she just seems so awesome. Like, I am obsessed with her. I want to be her best friend. It was initially indie published by her, but then it got picked up by Random House Canada. So let me give you the basic plot synopsis so we're all on the same page. In this book, it seems like we've got a world ruled by stars with a capital S. And the stars are basically like gods. And there's actually a star basically associated with each zodiac sign. I love the tie-in with astrology. My big theory, if you're wondering, I'm a Virgo sun, a Libra moon, and a Leo rising. But basically all of the stars, aka gods, are mapped to like each zodiac. And what they're the god or goddess of kind of relates to what like kind of the stereotypical worst trait of each of the signs is. So for example, the star that's supposed to be like Aries, that is Ariet, god of wrath, war, and blood. And then Taura, that's Taurus, is the goddess of lust and pleasure. For Gemini, we actually have 2 stars because they're the twins, and that is Jim and Eli, the goddess of spite and trickery, the god of riddles, cunning, and knowledge. And it just goes on and on. So I think that is so cool. And then beyond that, each of the stars are mapped to a different kingdom in this world that it's set in. So each star is the patron star of a different area on the map. So for example, Helios is one of the kingdoms on the map, and Leon, aka the Leo star, is the patron star of Helios, which makes a lot of sense if you know Leo, because Leon is the god of pride, arts, prophecy, and the light. And if you know anything about Leo, you know that they're ruled by the sun. So it makes a ton of sense that Leon is the patron star of Helios. So it's just super cool that all of these gods are mapped to these different like kingdoms in this world. I love a good map, and this map is very like digestible. It's not too overwhelming. Any map that like loosely looks like the Game of Thrones map with like Westeros and Essos with like a river in between, I'm like, okay, cool, I got that. But let's talk about the actual plot of the book, because that's just kind of like the world building. This book follows Alara, which first of all, I just love the name Alara. The author actually grew up in the English countryside, so it's more like Alara, which I think is even more beautiful than Alara, the like American way to say it. But anyways, that I digress. Basically, we've got this girl, Alara, and she has been cursed by fate. She was actually told that she will fall in love with a star and that it will kill them both, which like, I didn't even know the stars could die. but I guess I can. So when one of the stars, Ariette, who, as we established, is the god of wrath and war, starts attacking Alara's home, she escapes, but she ends up getting captured by her rival next door neighbor kingdom. She basically gets taken there against her will, and she meets Prince Lorenzo, who we also call Enzo, I'm pretty sure, which also, that's a sexy name. Enzo is basically forced to train Alara to kind of turn her into a weapon to help fight back against the tyrannical stars. I'm literally giddy about starting this book. I think it's gonna be so much fun, and I've just heard nothing but good things. So I'm probably just gonna read as much as I can before I fall asleep tonight. It's already like 9:30, so I'll probably only read for like an hour or so, but we'll see how far I can make it, and I'll definitely check in along the way and give you first impressions as I start reading. Okay, wanted to do a quick check-in and first impressions because I am getting pretty sleepy. I don't want to speak too soon or anything here, but I fear I'm eating this up. Like, it's so good. I just made it to page 51. I'm on chapter 8, so I read the first 7 chapters, but I'm seriously loving it so far. Like the writing, the world building, our characters, I'm just obsessed. I'm obsessed with the astrology element in this book so far. I keep referencing like the map and the list of the stars in the front of the book because even when there's just like an anecdote, I'm wanting to like map what it is to the reality. And you don't really always need to because like I said, sometimes they're just like anecdotal little like pieces of history or stories or things, but I just have fun going and seeing like what they're talking about kind of. But essentially, Alara is from Asteria, and that's ruled by like Pisces, which is like Piscea, I think is the name of the star. And it's kind of the kingdom of night. And then she's been taken into Helios, which is ruled by kind of like the sun, which is like the Leo star, which is called Leon. So you've really got this like imagery of like light and dark so far in the book, which I have found super interesting. And for Alara, dark is good and light is bad. And I'm really enjoying kind of like the imagery of that. I feel like so often in fantasy books and just books in general, there is this connection between light being good and dark being bad. But I think it's really interesting to explore what it looks like for dark to be good and light to be bad. There's been a lot of lore and world building so far, but the plot has moved pretty quickly. Within like the first couple chapters, Alara was like kidnapped and being taken to Helios. And then we're kind of getting a little bit more of like the backstory along the way. So I love how we just kind of jumped right into the plot. It hooked me right away, but it did take me a second to kind of like figure everything out because there was a lot of that like world building, explaining the powers, the lands, the stars, all of that in the beginning. The whole like world that we're in here is called Celestia, by the way. So if I mentioned Celestia, that's what I'm talking about. One of the most interesting points of the plot so far, that's not really a spoiler, I don't think, is that each kingdom also has like 3 powers associated with it. And I'm pretty sure that most people in each kingdom only get like usually 1 power within their kingdom. Maybe some get 2, but it's really rare to have all 3 of your kingdom's powers. And Alara has all 3 of her kingdom's powers, and so does Enzo. So that's really fun, but Alara doesn't really quite know how to use, I think, 1 or 2 of her powers. So Enzo is supposed to be teaching her how to use all of her powers. And so we've kind of got that dynamic. I was really excited when I found out that Enzo has all 3 powers too. So his powers, because he's from the kingdom of Helios, are more around like fire. He can wield fire. He's like a light bringer. And then Alara, she's kind of like a shadow wielder because she's from the darkness kingdom, which is really cool because I feel like we oftentimes have like shadow wielder main male characters who are like the shadow daddies, you know, in romantasy, but we've got a shadow mommy on our hands with Alara. So I'm loving that kind of like reverse again on the trope, but it's super cool to kind of like get to know the magic system and all of that. So still kind of like figuring everything out as I go, but I feel like I've gotten a little taste of everything along the way. It hasn't been like too heavy in world building or too heavy in like plot or dialogue. It's just been like a nice kind of like even pacing with all of it. I'm so excited about this book. So I will probably read a little bit more before I fall asleep, not too much because I am getting tired, but just wanted to give you the update that my first impressions are glowing. It's been like 2 days days, I think, since I last updated you, and I'm on page 120 in Heavenly Bodies. I haven't had too much time to read over the last few days, so I'm about to lock in and hopefully my goal is to get to page 300 tonight. I think I last checked in with you when I was at like the 50-ish page mark, and I don't have too many new or evolved thoughts since then. I will say I feel like the romance definitely feels at the forefront of the plot, even though our two love interests like aren't together or anything. There's a lot of tension, a lot of like hatred, but like banter, but like flirting. Overall, so far, I am just having a lot of fun with Heavenly Bodies. I've been wanting to get back to it and like have a night to myself to read. So that's what we're doing tonight, and I'm sure I'll have more updates along the way. But for now, I just want to get back to reading. At the end of the last chapter, Enzo gave Alara a kiss on her hand. This is slow burn yearning, and I am here for it. They're down bad. They're like ignoring their feelings, but like the tension is so there. It's not like this innocent kind of slow burn where they're just kind of friends and then it turns into something more. It's like, no, they are like foaming at the mouth for each other, but they're like completely ignoring how they feel. It's everything. But this is like the forefront of the plot, I will admit. So if you're here for like a fantasy story, this is romance set in a fantasy world, I fear. There is like enough world building to where I feel like there could be a pretty compelling, more like political plot. I feel like that's not like a big focus so far. It's mostly just like the tension between Alara and Enzo, and I'm just eating it up. Wait, here's more banter. He said, "Is it strange that I missed how you constantly irritate me?" She smiled to herself. "You must have had too much to drink if you're claiming you missed me." "I did miss you." Guys, I'm just giggling and kicking my feet at every turn. I feel like the pace is a little weird. Like, we have a lot of side quests that get resolved pretty quickly, and I'm just kind of like, when is something else gonna happen? We're just kind of like hanging out and training and like getting to know each other and having these moments. Then we do another little training quest. I don't know. I feel like it was so action-packed in the beginning, and I do feel like it's getting a little like drawn out through this part, but I'm having fun, so I don't really care. I'm just definitely curious to see where it goes next. The banter and the chat that this man Enzo has, he says, "I think you would be very easy to worship," he murmured, his voice so soft she almost melted into it. Cool. Doing really great. I can't keep pausing to give you a reading update literally every time Enzo says something that sends me into orbit. Not 3 pages later, this man says, "I do not just tolerate you, Alara. You are my favorite part of the day." I'm unwell. This is crazy. Oh, and I also forgot to tell you guys that he has her tea order memorized. They just dropped that one in. And here's the thing. This book has lots of tropes in it. I don't care. God forbid. God forbid girl have fun. No notes, really. All right, guys. I think it is just about quitting time for the night. I made it to page 243, so I'm a little more than halfway. I didn't quite make it to page 300, but it is now after midnight and I think I just need to go to bed. Enzo has given Alara nicknames. She actually has 2 from Enzo. So for one, he calls her Princess because she has been a princess her whole life of her kingdom of Asteria, but he also calls her Elle, which I just think is so cute because no one else calls her Elle. I just think it's sweet how he has a little nickname for her. So I will say, as I was trying to get to like page 300 tonight, I was feeling the length of this book quite a bit. I was like, this is a long book. And I think this is a lot of times why I get intimidated by romantices, because they are just chunkier, longer books. And it's not like I don't have the attention span to read a longer book. It's just, I want to feel like there's a reason for it to be longer. I'm not an editor also, so I don't want to sit here and be like, take that out, cut this, leave that. She is a long book. I want to try to finish it tomorrow. I may do some audiobook listening to help kind of get me through some of the middle. I've heard really great things about the audiobook, like incredible things. From Bailee's Bookshelf, I saw she did an audiobook recommendations video and she said this one was great. So I definitely think I'll probably listen to a few chapters tomorrow and we will hopefully finish this one up, but I'm loving it. my besties, it is several hours later now. So this morning you saw I was listening to the audiobook of Heavenly Bodies while I was doing my hair. And I've just been listening to the audiobook quite a bit today, like while I was running some errands. But yeah, it's just about 9:30 now. So I'm going to settle in for the night and hopefully finish this book. I got up to page 356. So I'm really excited to just sit here, have a cozy night of reading and finish up Heavenly Bodies. And I will say the audiobook is fabulous. I really, really recommend the audiobook. Honestly, I think the best experience would be tandem listening to the audiobook while reading the actual book, because there are like words and names in the book that get a little confusing if you're just listening. But I do think, at least for starting the book, you could download like a sample to your Kindle or something and like read along for the first bit and then stop reading along and just listen. But for some reason, especially with fantasy, I feel like sometimes I need to get grounded and oriented with the book in the beginning. And if I were doing it over again, I wouldn't say to like start only with the audiobook, if that makes sense. But obviously it's all up to you. These are just my recommendations and thoughts. The thing about the audiobook with this book is that there are a lot of characters with very similar sounding names, honestly. So if you're listening on like 2x speed, it can be a little bit confusing because we've got Isra, Idris, and Enzo. Please, it's so confusing. It's not confusing when you just look at it on the page though, is the thing. But when you hear it, earlier today, I was like, oh my gosh, I had the speed on too fast. And I was like, I'm gonna have to slow this down because I could comprehend everything else, but like anytime the name got said, I was like, wait, who is talking? I feel like Enzo is very tortured poets coded. Like this man de-stresses by like making art. Basically, he uses his like light wielder capabilities to like sculpt stuff. He's really got it all. Oh, and he also likes poetry. It's almost like too much, you know? Also because a lot of this book is set in the kingdom of Helion, which is ruled by Leon, which is like Leo. It does feel like a very summery book because in Helion, it's the kingdom of light and Leo season is in like July and August. So this honestly could be a really fun fantasy romance to read this summer because it definitely has the summer vibes. There's a summer solstice. I think I'm going to keep tandem listening to the audiobook while I read the last bit of the book because the audiobook experience is phenomenal. I fear that now that I've turned the audiobook on, I don't want to turn it off. So I think I'm going to finish listening and reading together. I think it'll take me about 2 hours to get through the rest of the audiobook if I listen on 2x speed and read along. I might be able to speed it up a little bit past that, but I don't really like going much faster than 2. So let's do it. Let's finish up Heavenly Bodies and I'll give you my final thoughts. It's 12:30 a.m. so it's time for me to go to bed, but I did finish Heavenly Bodies tonight. I'm feeling a little bit conflicted about this book because while there was a lot that I loved about it, there was just like some je ne sais quoi that kept me from completely emotionally connecting with it. I definitely want to sleep on it and kind of process how I'm feeling because the ending was definitely very twisty, which was fun. There aren't a lot of rules with the magic, and I feel like that got really imaginative in like a cool way for the plot, but also I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, I feel like it's just like a free-for-all kind of. I think my favorite thing about the book is just the concept. The idea for this book is so cool, and it was just such an imaginative book. So yeah, I'm gonna sleep on it and I'll give you my final thoughts tomorrow. Okay, so as you guys saw, I finished Heavenly Bodies last night and I wanted to come back and give you my final thoughts. I think I'm gonna land on a 4.25 stars for Heavenly Bodies. I honestly get annoyed with myself when I do a quarter rating. I don't know, when I start reading more and more books, it's like, well, it's not as good as this book that was a 4.5, but it's better than this book that was a 4. Like I just start like almost ranking them with my rating in my head. I think overall the way I feel about this book is just that it was a blast. It was so much fun. It was so slow burn. So there was so much tension. I will say it's definitely packed with a ton of like micro tropes. So if that kind of thing throws you off, then maybe not the book for you. But honestly, I didn't mind them. Like touch her and die, washing her hair, like things like that. I was genuinely excited to keep picking this back up. I was like, oh, I can't wait to get back home and read my book tonight. But at the same time, when I was trying to read larger chunks of the book in one night, like 100, 200 pages, I did find myself getting a little bit bored in the middle. I felt like the plot and the pacing lulled a little bit in the middle. And so maybe the pacing was just a little bit uneven, but I would find myself really interested at times, and then it would definitely slow back down quite a bit. I'd say the writing style leans flowery. It's pretty much all in third person. So it doesn't read so much like a journal, more so like this like beautiful retelling of this like ancient story. But the dialogue pieces bring you into that like present really well. So I didn't feel like it was like a history book at all. The romance is what worked really well for me in this book. I feel like that is the strongest part of this book. I feel like I was way more invested in our characters and their tension and their banter than maybe the actual plot, which I feel kind of bad about. Alara and Enzo just like totally have this star-crossed lovers dynamic. It was working for me. It's a couple days later and I'm gonna give Katie a FaceTime call because I want to share with her some of my final thoughts in the books. and I thought it'd be fun to share her reactions with you guys too. Okay, besties, I have my other bestie, Katie, on FaceTime here. So I think I'm gonna start with On a Quiet Street, which is the one that I read first, which this is Katie's 5-star.
Yes.
When I finished reading it, I was like, honestly, like maybe even a 4.25. I do think with some time, it may be more of just a 4.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like the other book made me realize that this one was maybe more of a 4.
Yeah.
All that being said, I still loved it. I thought it was such a great, just like solid mystery thriller.
Yeah.
I think this like domestic suspense genre is kind of like the perfect niche within mystery thriller, where it wasn't too scary. It was like juicy. There was drama. Literally, like I kind of hated everyone, but it made it so much more interesting because I was like, I don't even know who to root for.
Especially the men. Like,
no, the men were so rancid. But one of them was actually kind of okay.
That's true. I forget his name. That's how it is with thrillers, though. I always be forgetting
I forget
everybody's name in a thriller.
Paige's husband, whatever his name is.
Paige's husband, yes. I was curious. What did you think about the ending? Because you've read a lot more mystery thrillers than I have.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just curious if this is me being like, oh my gosh, I just found like a new mystery thriller genre. I loved it. Like I'm so like into this. Or if this is like something again, like you've read before. Because you were saying that you were relating it to like Darling Girls.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing with the ending. I feel like I, in general, am like a vibes reader, especially with mystery thrillers. I'm not sitting here like plotting like, this is what's happening. Like, this is how it's going to end. The author's going to make this character do this. Like, I really am just like along for the ride. A lot of the times with mystery thrillers, I'm like, I'm going to find out eventually. So I'll say this about the ending. I feel like it definitely surprised me, but it also wasn't like, oh my God, like this is unfathomable.
It wasn't like, put the book down, can't read this for a little bit. I'm so shocked. Right. Let me take a break.
Thank you for the recommendation. I feel like it's helping me refine my taste in thrillers and like better understand my taste. I'm excited because I feel like I have a better sense of more mystery thrillers that I could like and can better kind of pick out my next one. So yeah.
We love that.
Next up, we have Heavenly Bodies by Amani Ariu. This was awesome. This was so much fun. Like, I just had a blast. Like, I think if you're looking for a fun book, this right here. Let's talk about my favorite things. My favorite things were the world building, the astrology tie-in, the mythology, like inspiration as well. There was like a glossary of all the stars in the front, which I really enjoyed, like referencing. Helpful. I also think if you're not super into astrology, it's not like a barrier to entry for this book or mythology. It's kind of like little Easter eggs if you are into that, where you like notice little things. But if you aren't into it, like you're not really missing anything either. I also really liked the idea for the book. Like, where the plot went conceptually was so cool and such a like imaginative idea. I also really loved the dynamic of Alara and Enzo, our two main characters, together. We'll say like them apart, they could be a little one-dimensional at times to me. I felt like sometimes they were like created to serve this idea that she had for this world and for this plot. And they kind of like filled in those holes in a sense, rather than like being thought up as these characters to start and then building the world almost around them. Yeah. Which I think it's hard because it's like the chicken or the egg. And I think for me, for like a full 5-star, a lot of times I just really have to connect with the characters. Yeah. And I think I lean more into like character-based book. Overall, it was just fun and it was different. And the romance was really like, it was hot. Like the two main characters, like there was such good chemistry. Loved it. I just wish like we knew them a little bit closer. But I think that also there's opportunity for more of that, like as the series continues. Overall, I really enjoyed it. Though.
I'm glad. I've been like eyeing Heavenly Bodies for a really long time because I've heard such amazing things about it. And I feel like, especially since you like it and then so many other people like it, I'm definitely going to read it soon. And then maybe we can buddy read the second one together. I feel like that'd be fun.
That would be so much fun. Especially because I feel like towards the end of the year, there's not as many new releases as there are towards the front half of the year. So to have one coming out in November will be so fun, like around the holidays and stuff. True. So I'm excited for that. I think it was a success. I really enjoyed both my reads. I had a ton of fun.
Me too. If you guys want to see the books that Lottie picked for me and my thoughts on them, don't forget to go check out my video. And I had so much fun doing this collab. So let us know if you want us to do something like this again soon. And I think that is going to be all for me. Bye.
All right, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I had so much fun doing this collab with Katie. Let me know in the comments down below. Have you read either of the books that I read in this reading vlog, or do you want to add them to your TBR now? I can't wait for book 2 in the Heavenly Body series in November. It's definitely an anticipated release now. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for today's video. If you made it this far, definitely comment down below with the star emoji so I can know who made it to the end. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe down below so you don't miss a video from me. Thank you again so much for watching today's video, and I will see you super soon in another one. Bye, everyone.